I'm 77 years old, and I'm going to tell you something I've never said out loud to anyone. Not to my daughters, not to the few friends I have left. I'm telling you because I won't be here much longer, and I need someone to know this before I go. I spent my entire life believing I was doing the right thing. That's the part that hurts me the most. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't selfish in the way people usually mean. I worked hard. I provided. I showed up. But I was absent in a way that mattered more than any of that, and I didn't realize it until there was no one left to be present for. I want to tell you about my wife. Her name was Catherine. We married when I was 24. She had dark hair that she wore pulled back, and she laughed easily. The kind of laugh that made other people smile, even if they didn't know what was funny. I remember thinking I was lucky. I remember meaning it. We had 2 daughters. I worked in insurance, then management, then consulting. The work was fine. It paid well enough. I told myself I was building something for us. For them. That's what men did, wasn't it? You worked. You provided. You made sure your family had what they needed. Catherine stayed home when the girls were young, then worked part-time at a library. She loved that job. She used to tell me about the people who came in and the things they asked for. I'd nod and say, "That's nice," and think about the presentation I had to give the next morning. I don't remember when I stopped listening. It wasn't a decision. It wasn't something I chose. It happened the way rust happens, slowly, invisibly. One day you look down and realize the thing you thought was solid has been eaten through. I was busy. That was always true. There were deadlines, meetings, and problems to solve. I'd come home and Catherine would be in the kitchen, or reading, or helping one of the girls with homework. I'd say hello. I'd ask how her day was. But I wasn't really asking. I was waiting for my turn to talk about mine. She'd start to tell me something and I'd already be thinking about work, or I'd interrupt with something I needed to remember. Or I'd just go quiet and she'd trail off, and we'd sit there in silence that felt normal because we'd been sitting in it for so long. The girls grew up. They went to college, then moved away, one to Boston, one to Portland. They called on Sundays for a while, then every other week, then once a month. I told myself that was normal too. People get busy. They have their own lives. Catherine retired at 63. I kept working. She started taking painting classes. She joined a book club. She'd tell me about the books they read, and I'd half listen the same way I always had. One night she asked me if I wanted to take a trip. Just the 2 of us, somewhere we'd never been. I said maybe next year after this project is wrapped up. There was always a project wrapping up. She stopped asking after that. I didn't notice. I'm not sure when she started sleeping in the guest room. It happened gradually. First it was because I snored. Then it was easier because she woke up early. Then it just became where she slept. We'd see each other in the morning at dinner. We were polite. We didn't fight. I thought that meant we were fine. I retired at 68. I thought things would change then. I thought we'd finally have time, but I didn't know what to do with time when I had it. I'd spent 50 years filling every hour, and suddenly the hours were empty, and I didn't know how to be with her in them. We'd sit in the same room, and I'd read the news on my tablet, and she'd do her crossword puzzle, and we wouldn't say anything. I told myself we were comfortable, that this was what marriage looked like after 40 plus years. She got sick 3 years ago, pancreatic cancer, stage 4 by the time they found it. The doctor said 6 months, maybe a year with treatment. She chose treatment, not because she thought it would work. She told me later it was because she wasn't ready to leave yet. I thought she meant she wasn't ready to die, but that wasn't it. She wanted time with me, real time, the kind we'd never had. She wanted me to sit with her and talk to her and listen to her. She wanted me to be there, actually there, not just physically present while my mind was somewhere else. And I tried, I really did. I sat with her during chemo. I drove her to appointments. I made her soup when she couldn't eat anything else. But I still didn't know how to talk to her. We'd spent so many years not really talking that I didn't know where to start. One afternoon, maybe 2 months before she died, she looked at me and said, "I don't think you ever really knew me." I started to argue, started to say, "Of course I did. We'd been married for 46 years. She shook her head. "You knew facts about me. You knew my schedule. You knew what I did. But you never asked me what I thought about, what I dreamed about." what scared me. I sat there and I couldn't think of anything to say because she was right. I didn't know her favorite color. I didn't know if she'd been happy. I didn't know what she thought about when she was alone. I'd lived with her for almost half a century and I'd never asked her any of those things because I'd been too busy, too distracted, and too convinced that my thoughts were more important than hers. She died on a Tuesday morning. I was holding her hand. She'd been unconscious for 2 days. The hospice nurse said she might still be able to hear me and that I should talk to her. Tell her it was okay to go. I didn't know what to say. I sat there holding her hand and I tried to think of something meaningful, something that would matter. And I realized I didn't know how to talk to my own wife. Not really, not in the way that counted. She died and I never got to tell her I was sorry. That was 3 years ago. My daughters came for the funeral. They stayed a few days. They were kind but distant. We don't talk much now. A call every few months. They have their own families, their own lives. I'm invited to things, but I can tell it's out of obligation, not desire. I live alone in the house Catherine and I bought 40 years ago. The same house where I sat in my office working while she read downstairs. The same house where I walked past her 1,000 times without stopping to ask how she really was. I have time now, all the time in the world, and no one to spend it with. That's my regret. Not that I worked too much, though I did. Not that I didn't take enough vacations, though I didn't. My regret is that I never learned how to be present with the person I loved most. I thought proximity was the same as presence. I thought being in the same house, sleeping in the same bed, and sharing meals, that all of that meant I was there. But I wasn't. I was always somewhere else. In my head, in my work, in my own concerns. And now she's gone, and I'd give everything I have for one more afternoon where I actually listened, where I asked her real questions and cared about the answers, where I put down whatever I was doing and looked at her and saw her. I'm dying too. Not tomorrow, probably not this year, but soon enough. The doctor tells me my heart is weak. I have maybe 2 years if I'm lucky. I don't know if there's anything after this. I don't know if I'll see her again, but if I do, I hope she'll let me tell her I'm sorry. I hope she'll let me ask her all the questions I should have asked 40 years ago. If you're young, if you have someone who loves you, please don't do what I did. Don't assume you'll have time later. Don't think that being in the same room is enough. Don't let the people you love become invisible because you see them every day. Ask them how they are and mean it. Listen when they answer. Put your phone down, turn off the TV. Look at them, see them, know them, because one day they'll be gone and you'll be sitting alone in a house full of furniture and photos. And you'll realize you never really knew them at all, and there's nothing lonelier than that. I'm 77 years old. I have a little time left. Not much, but some. And I'm spending it wishing I could go back and do everything differently. You can't go back, but you can start now. That's all I wanted to say. This channel carries more stories like this, honest voices from people who have lived long enough to see things clearly. Not advice, just perspective. If this resonated with you, you're welcome to subscribe and leave a comment. What lesson hit you the hardest? What's one thing you're going to change after watching this? Keep listening, keep learning, stay human.